Hey guys, it's noon the next day. Oh, I've woken up. I don't think I started the vlog yet. Hello world of YouTube, welcome to day 24? 25? 23? I'm in the 20s. It'll be accurate in the thing. I can't think right now because I woke up and I saw a new fish, a new baby in the tank. Hey. There's Annie. And there's the babies that I still haven't named yet, but they're pretty big now. And there's Gino hanging out in the log, and there's Cable. Cable's really big now. There's a baby in here though. It's a tiny little baby. I found it. And I thought it was, one of the bigger babies. But no, because it's smaller. It's a lot smaller. It's just swimming around in here. So there's a third baby in here somewhere. I don't know where. The plan for today is to get caught up. I have a podcast with Dusty and Eric at some point today. So we're going to be podcasting. But I have to edit the vlogs. One of them's already edited. I just want to get the other two edited so that way I can post them all at once along with yesterday's vlog. I just got a lot of editing to do today. It's a catch-up day, which will most likely be how my days are structured if I get behind on vlogs, is I'll have a day in the week designated for ketchup. Not mustard, but ketchup. I'm also going to make me some lunch because I'm hungry. I started watching Night Minds Every Man Hybrid Part 2, but I passed out. And that's the weird thing. If I fall asleep to Night Mind, my dreams are really fucked up. Some really fucked up dreams last night, so I'm not really, I'm in a weird mood today. But in the meantime, I'm going to make some lunch, and I wanted to welcome you guys officially. I don't think I welcomed you guys, so if I didn't, welcome. There it is, right there in the corner. You see it? Okay, the babies keep multiplying. I'm up to like another 12. Oh god. So I proceeded to get just about everything I wanted to get done today. The only thing I didn't really get to do was the podcast with Dusty and Eric. But we are, and I wanted to apologize to them for that. I didn't even keep in contact with them because I was so busy today getting everything done that I needed to get done. I actually didn't film, and I grabbed my camera to do it, but I didn't film going down to the bank. I had to go to the bank and get a money order from CVS from my landlord. I didn't get completely everything I wanted to get done today, but I got a lot of things done today. Today's been a weird day mentally. I've been thinking about a lot of stuff, getting a lot of ideas in my head. One of the things I want to do is work on more short stories. So you may see me posting more links to short stories and talking about them on the vlogs if I get the time to. There's some things I want to do throughout the next couple months, and that's be more prolific as a writer and compile more short stories while I try to work on the novels that I've been working on. I feel like that'd be an interesting thing to do. I don't know, I've just been thinking a lot about my creative method and my work ethic as a creative person on the internet. Sorry about the weird angles in this shot. I'm all around just all over the place. One of the things I really wish I could do is play Super Mario Maker, because I feel like it'd be so much fun to talk about and play Mario Maker. Not necessarily doing like because I don't have a big enough community to do like a community-based Let's Play like a lot of people have been doing, but it's been nice to see a lot of people drawing to this game, because I didn't think a huge amount of it when I saw it at E3, but I'm glad that it looks awesome. I'm glad that Nintendo's just making good shit, so that's cool. One of the things I really want to do at the end of this week is maybe go to the movie. I don't know, there's a lot I want to do. There's a lot that I'm like clamoring for, and I want to try and start doing those things. So the original topic I was going to talk about is a bit heavy-handed to kind of end a vlog like today, and it has to do with like funding projects and all that sort of shit, something that I'm not totally against. Instead, I'm going to spitball an idea at you guys that I've been talking about with Shake. And I've come to realize recently that my hubris is pretty fucking huge. Like, I have a lot of aspiration as somebody who likes to make things, as is evident by a lot of the things you see me starting to do on the vlog, talking about doing ideas for videos, and obviously I'm a guy who has a bit of a time constraint in his life, more of a time constraint than I feel like I've ever had, because while I like to have time to do things, I also like to do other things that don't involve me using my creative side. Like I like to hang out with friends. I like to just chill. And considering I work a lot, I like to just vibe. I like to hang out. And while I like making videos, it's a bit more taxing mentally than I really have had the capacity for the past few days. That's why vlogs haven't been coming out regularly. I come home and I'm drained. My body is just sunken and just ugh. And then my depression hits and I'm like ugh. And then I start to feel kind of sick and I'm like ugh. Come on, I want to do shit, body. Let me do it. But I wanted to spitball an idea at you guys and to be something that's a lot less regular than everything else I'm trying to do. And I know I'm already a new member of a podcast, and I have an old podcast that I try to do still, but it's another podcast sort of thing. It's more like a book club, but not a book club. It's a book club for video games. It's a podcast still with me and Shake. Because Shake and I don't do nearly enough projects together. We really don't. I wish we did still do a lot more projects together. I like working with Shake. He and I have a really good chemistry that I can't seem to find a mimic for between any of my cohorts that I make videos with. Me and Shake we click. That's why we're best friends. We click in a way that it just works, you know? So, I wanted to talk about and cap off, kind of spitball an idea with you guys. Since I don't do Let's Plays at the moment because I kind of can't. If I had the equipment to make Let's Plays, I guarantee you my my next off day. Like if I had the equipment right now, like if it was just in my hands to make Let's Plays, my next day off would be devoted solely to catching Let's Plays up on the channel because I have such a drive to do them. But it's similar to a Let's Play in the fact that I'm talking about a video game, but it's different in the fact that, one, it's not live commentary, two, the thoughts about the game are a bit more digested, unlike a Let's Play where it's like immediate thoughts, immediate response. It's you play, you think, then you reflect. It's kind of like a long-standing review. And I was pitching this idea to Shake because it's with him, but we haven't had the chance to really talk about it, so I'm also hoping to use this as a way to kind of talk the idea out with him. So the concept is, if you follow Continue, they used to have this podcast called the Continue Cast, which I loved the idea of, but I do feel like was limited by their 2-episode stature. You know, they played a game, then they came back to it a week later, talked further about it, about their thoughts about the game as they were playing it, and all that sort of shit, and not kind of a reflective of if they continue playing it, which was the whole gimmick of the podcast. But what I want to do is I want to do kind of a long-standing dialogue and talk and discussion about a game on a podcast. There's a game and there's a game in theory that me and Shake would play through and kind of talk about our feedback and kind of give feedback about the game post. It wouldn't be while we were playing. We wouldn't be recording the podcast while we're playing the game. Instead, we'd play the game. Then after a couple days of playing the game, we'd meet up. We'd talk about the game, give our opinions of that snippet of the game. Then, a couple weeks later, then for the next couple weeks, we'd play the game a little more, come back, talk about it. Talk about the game essentially in bits, review the game in bits, and then at the end, culminate all of our thoughts about the game in this giant review of it that kind of sums everything up before talking about the next game we'd play and kind of using that as kind of a preview of the next game and kind of give our anticipating thoughts on it, yada yada yada. And that wouldn't be the only thing of the podcast, that would just be the focal point. That would be the focal point of the podcast, would be to talk about the game that we're talking about. Obviously, we'd open up the podcast by doing regular podcast shtick, shooting the shit, catching up, all that sort of stuff, and then we'd eventually get to talking about the game at hand. What do you guys think about that idea? Do you like that idea? Do you think it's weird? Do you think it's dumb? Do you think it doesn't really add a whole lot to the realms of entertainment? I want to know. I'm curious. I don't like how my voice... I like that, as I mentioned in the top 50 facts, I like when I have a bit more of a... I like when I have a bit more stuff to quality to my voice, but it's not good in terms of health that I sound like this. So, I'm hoping that this degrades down by the morning, but either way, I'm going to go. Tomorrow is a day that hopefully will not culminate in lots of putting off editing the vlog because of energy and all that shit. But either way, I've been Viralrak. You guys have a good day in situations. I'll see you tomorrow.